Hello all, very good morning. In today's topic, we'll discuss regarding the community health nursing approaches. So coming to the topic here, first we'll discuss regarding the epidemiology. So epidemiology means it is the study of the distribution and the determinants of the health related states and events which are specified in a special populations, and the application of the study mainly to control the problems and to solve the problem at its peak level. So epidemiology means it is nothing but study of population, and we are studying the distribution and determinants of health related events. And these are mainly specified in a particular population we are studying, and we are applying the knowledge mainly to prevent the disease as well as to control the disease problem. So coming to the approaches here, we have four types of approaches. So the first type is epidemiological approach. Mainly we are studying about the population, what are all the events, then we are trying to solve the problem. Next thing is problem solving approaches, and third one is evidence based approach, and fourth one is empowering people to care themselves. So if you see first thing, epidemiological approach. So the epidemiological approach, it is used to solve the problem which is mainly related to the health and diseases. So mainly we are doing it in two forms. For example, we are asking questions and then we are making the comparisons. So firstly, coming to the asking of questions. So whenever you are asking questions, if you are getting an answer for the first question, so for example, when if you are introducing yourself to a person, first of all we'll ask you what is your name. So then when a person answers you back, then you will go for from which place you are, what is your background, all such things will come into play. In the same way, whenever you are trying to solve a problem, first you should ask them, you should ask the question. If they are giving you the answer for the first question, then that answer will lead to several types of questions. So we'll see here. So coming to this, what are the questions we will ask? We will ask the questions which were related to the health events. So how we will ask? So what are the actual and potential health problems and its manifestations and characteristics? Means what is your health problem? What are the clinical manifestations which you have observed, and what are the characteristics of the disease? So, and next question what we will ask? Who are infected, and with the what is the age group that is mainly infected, whether the males are being infected or the females are getting infected, and which type of place, either it is a which type of community, we are asking all these things, and where they occur in terms of place. Means whenever you are asking a disease condition, whenever you are asking a question towards problem solving, whenever if you come to know one disease has been emerged in a particular group of area, so you have to ask what is the problem which is related to your health currently, and what are the clinical manifestations when a person is getting affected. So likewise we will see which populations are at risk, whether the geriatric population is at risk, or the children are at risk, or the adults are at risk, or the younger generation at the risk, and based on the occupation, whether the workers who are working in the fields are risk, or whether the workers who are working in the factories are at risk. So all these times will come. And next what we will ask, which populations are increased. That means whether the geriatrics are having more risk factors, or the children are having the means, or are the juvenile children are they having more risk factor. And we will ask what does it happen in terms of a day, month, or a season. So when it is occurring. So we have seasonal diseases which occur in a particular season. Suppose even if it is a summer season, we will have different types of disease. Even if it is a rainy season or in a cold season, winter season, we will experience sore throat, we will experience common cold. So likewise for month and month the diseases will change on. Next thing, what is the causative factor? What are the contributing or the causative factors, whether they have known or not. By touching something, this person has achieved a disease. In such a way they will give us answers. So we will ask questions and we will decide. We will do the epidemiological approach. Epidemiological approach means we will mainly study. Whenever you are studying, if you get the proper answer, so why it is coming, when it is coming, from where it is coming, through what means it has occurred, and which age group it had occurred, and to which population it is having more risk. So if you know these questions, then we can solve the problem based on this statement. We can make a framework and we can approach the problem. So in this way epidemiological approach will come into play. So then we are asking related to health action. So what we are asking, what can be done to reduce the proc and its coincidence. So what you have done, what we can do to reduce its in prevalence rate, and how can it be prevented in futures, means how to prevent this disease in the future generation, and what should be taken by the community to prevent the and manage the problem. For example, we will take COVID-19 here. So how can it be prevented? How we can prevent the disease before occurring to us? So we are self quarantining us, means we are just taking away, we are getting away from the disease, we are limiting ourselves to the homes instead of going and roaming, instead of going and meeting the other persons. So it is a preventive aspect. And next thing is vaccination. So if you are getting vaccination against a disease, not only COVID-19, we can take any other example. So for example, if you are getting a disease vaccine against a hepatitis B, then you can go easily, you can come back easily. So likewise, at a point of time, if every person is getting vaccinated, so these diseases can be eradicated. So are you getting the point? So this is how the disease can be prevented. We have to think. Next thing, which action should be taken by the community? That's what we are keeping ourselves limited to the home itself. We are not roaming outside. Why? To prevent the disease which is present in the outer side. So this is related to health action. So next thing, so we have seen the epidemiological aspects. In that we have seen regarding the health events, we have seen related to the health action. Now we'll see regarding the comparison. So how we can make comparison? So the main approach in epidemiology is to make comparisons and find out the interference. It will take place between the two group. First thing, in facts to be comparable, and they must be accurate. The information must be gathered in a uniform way. So before you are comparing, anything, the matter you are comparing, it should be in an accurate manner, means it should be proper manner, and information which was gathered during the process, it should be in a uniform way, it should be in a particular way. First thing, what they will do, so we will how we can compare between population, different population at a given time. So if any disease is coming, we are comparing it between the rural population, we are comparing it between the urban population. So which type of population is affected, whether the rural population is affected or the urban population has been affected. Next thing, what we are doing, between the subgroup of population, means in rural population which group is affected, in rural population which group is affected, either males are affected or either females are affected. Next thing, between various periods of observation, means whether the disease prevalence rate is in the summer season or whether the disease prevalence rate is more in the winter season or in the rainy season. So all these things must be compared. So whenever you are comparing, we will understand main importance should be given to which type of group. For example, in COVID-19, who are the population who are having more risk? So the older persons are having more risk. The older generations are here having the more risk compared to the adults and the younger generation, and the persons who are having comorbidities. So these persons are having higher risk of fatality. So which group we must focus? Because based on the comparison, we must focus on the higher risk groups only. So likewise, these comparison studies will help us in the problem solving diseases. Next approach, what we are going to see, we have seen the epidemiological approach. In epidemiological approach, we have seen related health aspects, asking questions, then we have seen the making comparisons. In asking questions, we have seen questions related to health events and questions related to health action. And in making comparisons, we have seen comparison between the subgroup of population, comparison between the various periods of observation. Now we'll see regarding the problem solving approach. So mainly, to accomplish community health goals, its aim, what is the main aim? So mainly the community health is the main aim. Problem solving approach, we want to solve the particular disease which is going on. And the following, if you see, these are the following approaches which were taken into place. So first one is persuasive approach, second one is enforcement, third one is team approach, and fourth one is community involvement, and fifth one is intersectional approach. So we will discuss regarding the persuasive approach. So what is this persuasive approach? So in this persuasive approach, we are convincing the people. How? Through dialogue and educating them, and identifying and or modifying their health behavior. And community health nurses use this approach in all types of nutritional interventions, as well as which were related to the health promotion and specific protection and early diagnosis, treatment and disability limitation and rehabilitation. So if you see this persuasive approach, so mainly what we are doing, so here Example, for example only I am saying, we are taking this COVID-19. Don't think just I am saying the COVID-19. I am taking that COVID-19 example because it was present trend which is going on, present situation which is going on in society, so that you can understand, you can get better understanding with the disease. So you will be very familiar with this disease. That's what I was using the COVID-19. So how we are convincing the people here? We have convinced the people not to get out of the homes. So we have given them proper education. People everywhere now, they are using the mask, they are using sanitizer, and they are limiting themselves to outer sections. Means they are limiting themselves. Limiting themselves to the, instead of getting to the out. Why? Because everywhere, whenever you are calling, you are getting the ringtone, that COVID-19 ringtone, that all the people should be in their homes, not to roam outside. If you roam outside, there are more chances of getting the diseases. So if you see, they are saying we should fight with the disease, not with the victim. That's what. Here, whenever you are in persuasive approach, we are mainly convincing the person. Next thing, what they are doing, all the community health nurses. So these persons who are mainly participating in the health promotion, who are participating in the specific protection. Means if you want to gain specific protection against a specific disease, then you must be vaccinated. For example, you want to prevent the hepatitis B. So if you want to prevent a hepatitis B, if you are taking DPT vaccine, or if you are taking oral polio vaccine, and if you are thinking that the vaccines will protect you against this hepatitis vaccine, it is a foolish thing. So if you want a specific protection, specific vaccination should be taking place. So whenever a community health nurse is focusing on a specific protection, she is coming there and she is giving you specific vaccine, and she is giving you proper diagnosis and proper treatment, and she is limiting the disability as well as rehabilitation. So all these are the pursuit approaches. Next thing what we will discuss is enforcement. So what is this enforcement? This enforcement employs the use of more conservative measures, such as use of legislation. Example, prohibition of drug abuse, child abuse, immunization as a condition to the school admission too. So if you see this enforcement, it is mainly what it is using. It is using the measures with the help of the law, with the help of the rules and regulations which were there in the society, with the help of the government. So if you see, there was prohibition of drug abuse. So now, not only now, even before also, there is no license for the drug use. So no person should be drug addicted. No child should be abused in the form of sexual manner or in the form of child work manner, and every person should be immunized. So all the school going children should be immunized. So this was made in the legislation. It was a law. It was a law which was given by the government of India in order to prevent lots and lots of communicable diseases and as well as non-communicable diseases. Coming to the next thing, community health nurses, they make use of all such measures in life treating the emergency situations. Mainly community health nurses, these people will play a major role in the enforcement. These people will play a major role in the enforcement, because these are the persons who deal more with the society, because these people are always in the community and are acting as a mediator between the PHC as well as a doctor as well as the patient here. So that's what these people will play a major role in the enforcement. What is this enforcement? Using the laws which are there in the government sector. Next one is intersectoral approach. So what is this intersectoral approach means? So health of the people at large cannot be attained by the health sector alone. So we must need a intersectoral approach. So what is this intersectoral approach? Many factors are coming together, and if you see here, health of the people at large cannot be attained by the health sector alone, because there are many factors which affects people health, but they are not under the purview of health sector. So if you see here, food production, which is not food production and distribution, which is not under the health sector, water, sanitation, housing, environmental protection and education, all these were not in a particular sector. All the food production is a different sector, water sanitation is a different sector, and immunization is a different sector, and housing is a different structure, and environmental protection, it is a different sector. So what is this intersectoral? So all the sectors which were in a different forms, they must be correlated and they must be used. They must work as a unit. Then only we can approach the health of the community. So health workers, which were including the community health nurse workers who are working in the primary health centers. So there is a need to identify other sectors, and they must coordinate with them to provide desired. So if you want to get desired services, so the community health nurse is the person who must identify these different sectors, whether it is a housing sector, or whether it is a sanitation sector, or whether it is a environmental protection sector, or whether it is a education sector, or whether it is a food production or distribution sector. So the community health nurse is the person who must correlate, who must coordinate between the different sectors, and she must be able to give the desired services to the community. So teachers in the schools, they can promote good sanitation, means they can, teachers are the persons who influence the students' behavior, correct or not? So if teachers are able to identify the students, if the teachers are able to teach the children about good sanitation, need for a good behavior, and if they are able to conduct the courses on the nutrition and first aid, and if they are using mass media personnel which can popularize various primary healthcare services, so all these things will play a greater role, so that the sanitation can be achieved, the good behavior in the students can be achieved, and nutritional behavior in the students can be achieved, and immediate treatment when a person is having sick, these first aid measures can be taking place, so that that person is not going into terminally ill condition. So this is regarding the intersectoral approach. Intersectoral approach means all the sectors which are there in the community, they must work as a unit to get the desired services, to give the community desired services. So coming to the evidence-based approach here. So what is this evidence-based approach? So whenever you are taking a clinical decision, it must be on an evidence based, because if you have a particular diagnosis, if you have the particular report, then you can treat the persons in a proper manner. So whenever you are making decisions, if you are using the correct best evidence, so whenever you are trying to whenever you are trying to solve a problem here, then whenever you are making a decision, it should be on a particular evidence base. So if you are having an evidence, then the problem solving technique, it will be in a greater manner, and the problem can be avoided. So whenever you are making based on a custom, and emphasizes the integration of research evidence with the community experts and patient references. So if you are doing any decision, so you have to take the matter from the research aspect, you have to take the decisions from the expert aspect, and also you have to refer the patients who had already suffered. So these are the basic evidence-based approaches. So coming to the next thing here, empowering people to care for themselves. So you must give some right, you must give some power to the people to care their health. So health of the individuals who are living in a defined community is not only their right, but it is also their responsibility to take care of their own health as well as a community. If a person in the family is ill, automatically the whole family will be getting ill, and if a family is getting ill, automatically the nearby houses and the near society will become ill, and if the near neighbors are getting ill, whole community will be an ill person. So it is our responsibility to take care of ourselves, as it is our right. If you are maintaining our health, then we can maintain the others' health, then we can even maintain the community health. So every person should be having interest to take care of themselves, and they should be able to guide the other persons. That's what this sentence is saying here, and it is mainly achieved through proper education, using mass media, and conducting the health camps by the health team. So it is your responsibility as a community health nurse, or a community health doctor, or as a community health unit person. It is your responsibility to mainly tackle the situation, to educate the population, to educate the people who are in a risk factor, who are living in a community. So this is regarding the community based approaches. So epidemiological approaches and problem solving approaches, and evidence based approach, and empowering people to care for themselves. So these are the approaches. So that's it for today. This is from the community health nursing. So if you have any queries, you can drop them in the comment box, and for your reference, you can refer the Kamalaji book. So it is very good, and the content in this book is very nice. So if you like, please try to share and subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.